Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vampire Survivors. I swear I can speak. This game is one of my latest addictions, and is really fun. We're going to start with the default character. I have quite a few upgrades on this, but don't judge. So, basically, I have unlocked pretty much everything, but we're just going to play on Mad Forest, because I've not played this on YouTube yet. This game is absolutely fantastic because you don't have to do much of anything. You can just run around and absolutely destroy stuff with a whip or whatever other weapon of your choice. Also, it is bullet hellish. You do control stuff. You control your movement. The weapons will automatically fire. Some of them you can control direction and such. You can see that this is a directional whip. It only shoots left and right. Some weapons you have a bit more control of. This is one that you don't have a ton of control of, but it is still, you know, it attacks where you move it. Makes it a little easier. You gain experience by picking up these little gems that enemies drop, and then as you get experience, you get upgrades. Those upgrades allow you to either upgrade existing weapons or unlock new weapons and abilities and such. If you get the right weapon and item combinations, you are able to unlock legendary weapons, which are significantly more powerful than the base weapons, but you have to have the right combination, you have to have the weapon maxed out, so it does take a little bit of effort there. So, the cross, as you can see, is a directional weapon. It actually will just attack the nearest enemy, and then boomerangs back. So, it's one of my preferred weapons. It does actually quite a bit of damage. And you can see the guy with the blue outline. He is actually an elite, and he drops either a red gem, a chest, or both. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get, I think, Empty Tome. So Empty Tome is going to reduce weapon cooldown and combine with the magic wand to give us a upgraded magic wand that fires continuously. This chest will provide an upgrade to one of my weapons, which it gave me an upgrade to the whip this time. And after 10 minutes, chest will actually give you a chance to evolve legendary weapons. So, chest before 10 minutes cannot evolve a legendary weapon, chest after 10 minutes can. So, just a thing to keep in mind if you guys decide to play this yourself. This game is really cheap and insanely addicting, so do be careful if you end up getting it. So, Crown does not evolve anything so far. Candelabrador evolves the axe and augments area of attack. It's really good for what we have. I'm going to work on upgrading my weapons right now, though, and the things that can evolve the weapons, because I do want to try to get some evolved weapons at 10 minutes. If you get evolved weapons at 10 minutes, you have a much higher chance of surviving, and yeah, it's just better off for you. A lot of this game is about your movement, just staying out of the way of certain enemies. You can see right now I have a very big weakness to enemies coming below me. Basically, the only thing I can do for those enemies is use my cross, and it does get a bit chaotic at times. So, Hollow Heart is what we use to upgrade Whip, so I'm going to grab that immediately, because we want to be able to evolve the Whip at 10 minutes if possible. The evolved version of the Whip actually heals you. It is one of the only evolutions that can do that, and it's just super powerful. We're going to upgrade Empty Tome. It is going to, just like I said, reduce the weapon cooldown. That's going to increase fire rate and reduce, well, it's going to increase the rate of fire of weapons. I said that wrong, but yeah. So, the faster we fire, the more stuff we can kill, and that is always the goal. These earlier levels have lots of low power enemies, which are very easy to kill, which give you a nice experience boost if you can kill more of them. Clover is going to be what evolves Axe. The luckier we are, the better chance we have of finding better items from fires, as well as the higher chance of getting 4 choices here instead of just 3. Now, what I mean by fires are these little red, like, candle things. You can see that they're dropping stuff like money. That's actually just a luck upgrade right there that you saw the Clover is. It's not an actual level for Clover. This chicken is just 30 health. It is the only way to get health unless you have a weapon that gives you health. So, very important to get lots of floor chickens. This is one of those times where we highly recommend you eat stuff off of the floor. We're getting extremely lucky with our chest right now because it's very rare for you to have more than one chest drop before 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, every 5 minutes, you're going to get a mini boss, and those mini bosses will just sort of give you a lot of stuff to think about. We're going to grab Magic Wand now because we do already have Empty Tome. That means we have 3 weapons and their respectable utility upgrade items. So we have the stuff to be able to get 3 different evolved weapons if we can get the weapons themselves upgraded far enough. So this is another one of those games I'm currently obsessed with. As you can see, Magic Wand is going to be another of those that just fires at random enemies. It's a little slow right now. It's not firing a ton of projectiles, but it's still really good. We're going to go ahead and just get another level of Whip. That's the one I really want to upgrade first, if at all possible, just because it is really good. Enemies do have different speeds and stuff. You can see these ghosts are really weak, but they are faster than your average enemy. They can also push the average enemies into you, so they can be very dangerous at times, especially if you're getting big things. Now, if you see the stopwatch right below me right now, that is a freeze. It will freeze all the enemies on screen so that you can kill them, but it also stops new enemies from spawning. If you notice up here a minute ago, that cross that is upside down is a full screen clear. It will kill everything on screen, and it's just really powerful. We're going to upgrade Magic Wand here. Like I said, you have to get a weapon to its max level to be able to use it to evolve. And yeah, that is always the goal because evolved weapons are significantly more powerful. And I will show you how powerful, hopefully at the 10-minute mark. Now, this is the 5-minute mark. You can see that we have our Praying Mantis. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up. Like I said, it kills everything on screen, as well as gives us our chest, which we will open here real quick. Now, usually you only get 1 item chest. You can get 3 or 5 items, though. The 5 items is a jackpot. 3 items is just good luck. So, we have yet another upgrade for Whip. We're getting really good here. We're at level 6 Whip already, which is a very good sign, because that means we're going to have a significantly easier time when we go to get our legendary items because we'll have the Whip at a high enough level. I want to be careful not to get this freeze because I actually want enemies to be spawning right now. More enemies equals more XP equals higher chance at getting stuff that you need. You cannot level up if you don't get a ton of XP. And slow-moving enemies that are decently easy to kill are the best way to do that. We're going to upgrade Empty Tome. It's my favorite out of all of those items there. And just the lower our cooldown is, the better our life is. Because the more fire rate we have, the more death we cause. And we do enjoy death here on this channel. This is a big money bag here, so it's going to actually increase my money by quite a bit. The individual coins only give only give 1 coin, and then the normal bags I think give 10 coins, but there's just different denominations depending on the color and type of bag that you have. There are sites where you can find all of the different weapon combinations and stuff. You don't start with absolutely everything. I sort of want to get King Bible. King Bible is a really good, really strong one. It just gives you a rotating projectile that does quite a bit of damage. And its final evolution does huge amounts of damage for you. So it's always a good upgrade to have. It's also good at clearing out enemies that are below me, which I'm not currently great at because I'm clearing out either the closest enemies, a random enemy, or enemies to my sides and above. The whip does go upwards as it gets more projectiles instead of just going out further. You can see sort of it's stepping up as it goes, so I'm not having any issues with these enemies above me. Now, every minute you get a new set of enemies, so this set of enemies is going to be bats and zombies. We're going to actually go ahead and grab Lightning Ring. Lightning Ring stacks with Duplicator, and Duplicator is probably the most broken thing in the game. It gives you more projectiles to any and all weapons. So you can see right now I am firing 2 crosses. If I get Duplicator, I can fire up to 4 crosses. So the more stuff you get, the better it is. Now, I do have a level of Duplicator from the main screen. And that is good. This is still before 10 minutes, so you just want to open chests as you get them. Once you hit 10 minutes, you're only going to want to open chests once you have the levels to upgrade a legendary weapon. But if you get enough gold, you can get permanent upgrades on the main menu, and one of them is a duplicator upgrade where you can just get an extra projectile. That is why I have 2 base projectiles instead of 1, which is very helpful for pretty much everything. It just is a huge power curve there if you're able to get those extra projectiles out. So right now we're looking for a couple of different upgrade items, but we're also just trying to get our stuff to max level so that we can upgrade when it hits 10 minutes. We don't have anything at full level yet. We've gotten our upgrades a bit spread out, so we're hard pushing XP right now, trying to see if we can get one of those to an appropriate level. Now, your levels won't be the same every single time. They do vary somewhat. So in the top left here, it shows you how many levels you have until max. So you can see Whip is only 2 away, so we're definitely going to go for Whip. Like I said, I really enjoy the healing. It's just really very helpful. So we're going to keep on picking up as many of these gems as we can, trying to upgrade Whip one last time so that we can get it to a point where we can get it exactly when we kill the 10-minute boss. You are guaranteed to get a chest from every mini boss, which is guaranteed upgrades there, but you can also, like I said, sometimes get them from those like little blue outlined enemies. So they're a good way to get extra chests if you want to upgrade enough weapons. Let's go ahead and upgrade Cross since we do have the thing that will be able to upgrade it. We want to prioritize weapons that we have their upgrade item first. So like I said, Empty Tome is Magic Wand, Hollow Heart is Whip, and Cross is the Clover. It takes significantly more experience to level up the further you get into this. So you can see I'm not leveling up nearly as much as I was in the beginning, but you do get more enemies over time that make it a little easier. Now you can see that instead of the small black bat with the blue outline, we actually have a silver bat. Those are slightly harder to kill and have the same chance to really drop a chest. We also have these red bats here. Red bats are probably my least favorite thing on this particular map because they're super annoying to kill. They are probably the highest HP thing on this map outside of the bosses. So, yep, there's our 10-minute boss, so we're going to want to kill him and work on getting an upgrade so that we can get our upgrade to Whip. There is level 9 of Whip, which means as soon as we kill this boss, we will be able to get the upgraded Whip, which would be very nice. Since we changed minutes, we shouldn't be spawning these red bats anymore, so I can sort of just hard focus down the mantis here, and that should be evolved Whip right there. It gives priority to the upgraded items, so yep, guaranteed red Whip right there. So red Whip, like I said, it's going to give us critical damage and absorbs HP, so now if I get hit, I can just heal all my HP back with no issues. It's great! So we're just going to sit here and farm enemies as best we can. The Whip is doing quite a bit of damage by this point and is going to be our main source of healing. We're going to just sort of leave this flower ring because it is closing in on us pretty quickly. Talk back to you. Now, one thing I have been debating is on Twitch I do VTubing and I have a PNG tuber. Do you guys want to see my PNG tuber be used on YouTube? Because I have been debating it. I'm not sure if it's something that you guys would like or hate though. So please give me feedback in the comment section if you would like to see that. If you've stuck around to this point, it would mean a ton to me. I'll probably be asking about it on Twitter as well as I try to get feedback from, you know, a little bit of everyone. And yeah. My Twitter's gotten interesting these days. I have lots of art of Cora because I do enjoy getting art of her. She is my character that I VTube with and also the namesake of the channel. She has been way too many races by this point, though. So another thing that I want to point out here, I've not had a chance to show you yet, this is an attractor. It will vacuum literally all of the orbs on screen. This is the easiest way to get many upgrades. We're gonna get Fire Wand and Spinach, I think. Spinach, also Candelabra Door. No, that's not the one we're looking for. Let's upgrade Lightning Ring, Magic Wand. There's Spinach. Spinach is going to upgrade the Fire Wand. Let's get another level of Cross, since that's going to be our next upgradable one. We're trying to kill as many enemies here right now as is humanly possible, because this is just free XP land right now, because these guys are super easy to kill and just worth, you know, almost all of them drop an orb. So they're just good to get them while you can. We're going to upgrade Fire once. We have the upgrade for that. Werewolves are also relatively tanky, but they knock back pretty easily, so they're not too terrible to deal with. They do spawn a bit faster than the red bats do, but I just don't like red bats. Red bats are the worst, especially because you get them before you get your first upgrade a lot of the time. And we got another Lucky Clover. That is actually a pretty rare find to get multiple Lucky Clover drops. That is the power of having the Clover upgrade, though. There's another level on Cross. We should only need one more level on Cross before we're able to get that evolved into the Sword. The Sword is one of my favorite weapons and one of the most powerful weapons in the game. Its DPS is super high and it just sort of flies out forever. So it kills a lot of enemies that are off screen still. There's a couple optimizations, things that this game has done. One of which is it optimizes stuff to where if you get too many of these orbs on screen because you're not able to kill stuff fast enough, or not able to pick them up fast enough, it will actually condense them all into one red gem that is off screen. You can see right now that we're having those ghost push enemies in, like I was talking about earlier. This is where the whip is super, super helpful, just because it's going to be healing me as I'm slowly taking constant damage, because this area right here, it's basically impossible to take no damage unless you are God tier, which I am not. I only have one evolved weapon so far, about to get my second though, because we just got this lucky chest drop. This should get me my evolved sword here, my evolved cross. So let's see if we do. Yep, okay, so Spirit Sword is going to be the Evolved Cross. It is going to, I believe, be crit damage as well. Yep, can deal critical damage, and it's just going to do a ton of damage. You can see that sword going out, piercing enemies, and then rotating back and just doing insane amounts of damage. It does do most of the damage behind you, unfortunately, but the Evolved version does go further in front of you than the original Cross does. We're going to keep evolving Lightning Ring, even though we don't have Duplicator yet. We're still keeping an eye out for that, because we do want to try to get Duplicator, if at all possible. So, we're just keeping an eye out for a couple of different things here. We have more of the red bats. This time they're spawning in very large amounts, which is not fantastic. So we're going to have to carefully sort of force our way through here. You can see how tanky these red bats are right now when I'm just hitting them with multiple things and they're not dying. We have a red gem over here. There's a chance this is the condensed red gem. Yes, it is. So we are going to get a lightning ring. We will upgrade Fire Wand. Empty Tome's always a good upgrade to get. It just does a ton for us. It basically is the only thing that improves literally every weapon, because anything benefits from cooldown. We have a chest right there that will be very good once we get another weapon to upgrade status. We'll be able to instantly upgrade it, so I'm not going to collect that chest until I have a weapon ready to upgrade. You can see we're sort of getting stuck in corners right now, just because of the number of enemies spawning on screen. But after this minute's over, we're going to get a new set of enemies, and we will get a boss as well. So we'll be able to filter through this and hopefully get to a little bit easier point. You can see we're spawning the green people again, green ladies, instead of more of the, well, we're still spawning some of the werewolves and stuff. Like I said, you're not always guaranteed to get the same thing on every minute. So it varies run to run, as well as it changes for every different world. None of the worlds have the same enemies, with the exception of the last world, which does have enemies from all of the worlds combined, which is why it is most often the hardest world, because you never know what's coming next. These worlds, you at least know exactly what enemies you're going to be getting. You can build your set towards them and sort of know what to expect. We're going to work on Empty Tome here. Get our red gem. Magic Wand up. Spinach up. We still really need more upgrades, so I'm just collecting everything that I can get. As we move super far off screen from our previous upgrades, we will get more of those red gems, just condensing the stuff off screen. Spellbinder is going to be what we need to upgrade our Bible. Our King Bible uses Spellbinder, which increases the duration of weapons. Not super helpful for other stuff, but super good for King Bible. And like I said, King Bible is just a very powerful weapon that you can get. We are still also looking to get the duplicator. We actually have not seen that yet. Also, you guys will recognize these. These are the first boss that we fought against. We are now significantly more powerful though, so they're appearing as a regular enemy. Yay! We're going to start working our way towards that chest because I believe we do have Magic Wand ready to go. We can check that by pausing using the escape key. I just don't really like doing that unless I am near the chest. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I unlocked the minimap. It shows you where you can locate stuff. We don't really need to go towards any of it right now. We might go towards that skull a little bit later because I think that's how you unlock it. So our Magic Wand is actually 1 away, so I'm glad I did not collect that chest yet, but Magic Wand 1 away, Lightning Ring 3 away, and we're quite a ways on our King Bible and our other wand there. So we're just going to keep on beating down these enemies. We got a second chest here. We're going for 6 evolved weapons. It's actually very difficult to get 6 evolved weapons just because you have to get insanely lucky. So I have to get Duplicator as my last item or else I will not be able to get 6 evolved weapons. But that is the end goal there. So let's go ahead and pick up this Attract Orb. It'll, once again, hoover all of that experience to us and power level us. We're going to upgrade the last level of Magic Wand, which I am very happy to see, because now we can work our way to this chest here. We actually have 3 chests now, so I'm very happy to see that. And this should get us the Evolved Magic Wand, which will just fire continuously and do a lot of projectiles. So there is our Evolved Magic Wand. Looks very similar, just a little bit deeper blue there, and it fires with no delay. So you can see now we're just firing projectiles non-stop at these enemies. And slowly wearing them down. So we're going to try and stay in this local area because we want to stay near these chests while possible. And we're really hoping for Duplicator. They might have increased the rarity of it because I have not seen it once, because that is literally the second I see it, I pick it up. This red sponge looking thing right here is actually a fireball that just makes you breathe fire, which does a ton of damage. I probably should have waited, for a boss to use it, but oh well. It is directional based off what direction you are moving. So keep that in mind if you are using it against a boss or something, because it does have a pretty good chance of you having to walk towards the boss and possibly taking some extra damage from that. But if you have the right build, you don't really have to worry about it. Right now, our build is basically good enough that we can sort of just stand still and let stuff come to us. But we do still want to be going out and picking the gems up whenever possible, because that is the only way to level up, which is, of course, necessary if you want to succeed in this game. We don't have any Attract Orb levels, so we do have to be pretty close to our stuff to be able to pick it up here. We got another chest. Now, we currently have 3 weapons that need to evolve and 3 chests. So any chest that we get after this point, we can go ahead and open up, but we do need to leave these 3 just so that we're guaranteed if we get our Duplicator, we'll be able to get all 6 evolved weapons. We're just going to need a lot of experience, and we only have 10 minutes left. This game lasts 30 minutes, and at the 30-minute mark, you are given a pretty much unkillable boss. They have, like, millions of HP, and will kill you in about, 2-3 seconds. So don't expect to kill them. It's probably not going to happen, but do your best. We're working on evolving King Bible and all our other weapons first, because we do want to get the evolved versions if possible. but we're just on the slow XP grind now. I'm not really concerned about picking up chickens when we're full, just because of the fact that I do have the whip that heals me, so I'm not at all concerned about healing. It's not an issue as it is most of the time. That is the main reason I like whip. It's just because of that healing, but it's good in general as well. Now, probably one of the most powerful weapons is going to be the axe, but one of the things it does is it increases your area, which, while good for some weapons, is not great for stuff like King Bible, which is one of my favorite weapons. It's good for stuff that have projectiles because it actually increases the size of the projectiles, but it can be a little chaotic at times. Now you can see that we're getting bats again, which are pushing the enemies towards us, including the boss. I might die here. Please, let me out. Let me out. Well, that was harrowing. Yeah, so these bats are doing the same thing that the ghosts normally do and just pushing enemies directly into us. Luckily, they did change it to where the trees block enemies now. They did not used to do that when I first started playing. So they've made quite a few changes to this game. And I think they're good changes in my opinion. They're a lot strong. The enemies are stronger. They've added extra levels. They've added extra items, extra synergies. The duplicator used to not have any upgrade, and then they combined it with the lightning ring to make a evolved and more powerful lightning ring, which is really cool because duplicator is like the best upgrade, like I said earlier. So definitely always want to be getting it, and now that it evolves, you can get it on a 6 evolved weapon challenge. Fire wand is definitely what we're going for here. We want to keep as many options as possible until we get duplicator unlocked, because the fewer options we have, the higher chance of getting railroaded into something that is not duplicator. Now we still have our 3 chests, so we can actually open this one, and we got a jackpot, boys. So what this is going to do is it's actually going to give us 5 items here. Gonna start with 3, then give us the extra 2 to make 5. Oh, jackpots are amazing. So we actually got 4 levels of Spellbinder and a level of Magic Fire Wand. Not what I was expecting, but our effects are now going to last significantly longer, which is great for King Bible. It is a very good upgrade to get for it. Speaking of which, let's upgrade King Bible. So these flowers are very tanky as well, but they're super slow, and you don't really have to worry about them killing you so long as you don't run into them. So that is a nice thing there. There is duplicator! We finally got duplicator. Okay, that is amazing. So duplicator is now going to guarantee that we can get all 6 evolved weapons if we can get enough experience. That's the big if there. Experience does ramp up the further you go in the game. You will get more enemies that you can kill to get more experience. It's just still going to be difficult to make sure we get enough levels on everything. If we pause right now, you can see that we're still 4 levels on King Bible, 2 on Magic Ring, and 3 on Fire Wand. So we're doing better. It's still just going to take a minute. Plus, we cannot go towards the skull unless we get these chests here, because I don't want to leave them. It's a lot harder to get chests in the late game just because you get less enemies and such. So we want to guarantee that we have these chests here when we do get our stuff leveled all the way up to level 8 or 9, depending on the item. Now we're getting more enemies that we can kill relatively easily for XP. The flowers aren't the easiest to kill, to say the least. So having these mummies coming in that used to be difficult to kill is very nice. We have a full screen clear here. I'm going to sit near this and let some more stuff get on screen, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. Just gets us a bunch of easy experience. It does a ton of damage to these guys. It does not kill the Reaper because it actually doesn't do enough damage to kill it. It does like 666 damage or something, and the Reaper, like I said, has millions of HP. But it's still a very effective way to just get all of your stuff up and running. We have 4 chests here again, so I'm going to open up one of these. We only need to keep 3 on reserve, so any extra chests that we get, we can open to get our levels towards other stuff. So we got another level of Magic Wand here, so we're at level 6 there now. We have a bat here, which might give us another chest that we could open. Okay, Batty Boy, are you going to give me a chest? You do! Excellent! So we can open this one for an extra upgrade. More upgrades we get, the better. Because the more chests is also just more upgrades. Basically, the more anything we get right now is better. Even more enemies is good because it's more chance to get experience, and we're doing well. We're going to get another level of duplicator. Like I said before, it is the most effective thing here. You can see that we have more Bibles now. We have more crosses now. We have more projectiles from Magic Wand. We're going to go ahead and pick up this fire. It's good when you have a ton of enemies out like this, just because you can XP farm really easily. So we're going to XP farm as best we can. We get another level of King Bible here. King Bible, once you get it all the way upgraded, has no downtime, so it will just be going continuously instead of having to go away sometimes. We actually have our Spellbinder and stuff up to a high enough level. We already have no uptime, but we'll have triple and double uptime by the time we finish all of this, because we have the empty tome reducing the amount of time before it starts, and you can see we already have a bit of double uptime there when we have a double Bible out. You can see it right there. So we're guaranteed by the time we have this up to have hopefully permanent double uptime is the goal, because just the more projectiles you have, the better. That is the way of life here. We're gonna upgrade. I'm gonna go with Lightning Ring. I prefer Lightning Ring. That'll get it to the final level. We got another jackpot. Jackpots are amazing. Just the amount of upgrades you get is just absolutely ridiculous. I believe you can only get one evolved weapon per, but you can see we got the final level of Magic Wand there. We got a couple of utility items, and we got our evolved Lightning Ring, which is the Thunder Loop. Projectiles will strike twice now, and we can get our evolved Magic Wand here as well, which only leaves King Bible. Not Magic Wand, Fire Wand. My brain works, I swear. So this right here is going to be our evolved Fire Wand. It is Hellfire, and it passes through enemies now. So you're going to see giant meteors that just basically bully their way through the enemies. The blue streaks across the screen are the Thunder Loop. The Thunder Loop is going to just bully enemies into submission. It does splash damage as well. We're going to upgrade King Bible here. We're just going to try to get as many levels on that as possible. We actually are only at 24 and 45, about 25 minutes here, which is ridiculously good to have 5 evolved weapons at this point, because that means that we will probably be able to get all 6 evolved weapons and get to our other upgrades. I accidentally picked up a freeze here. I'm actually not super upset about it now, because I can go through and just kill everything really easily. There's our final King Bible. There is our boss, and now we can open all of these chests and get all of our evolved stuff. At least I think that was the last level of King Bible. If not, yeah! So that is our evolved King Bible now. So that is our 6 out of 6 evolved weapons. It is the Unholy Vespers, and it is a never-ending King Bible. It will also, like I said, have double or triple uptime, due to the number of other upgrades we have that reduce cooldown and upgrade its duration. Because we have almost everything maxed now. So there is Spinach. Now what we're going to do is, as soon as we're out of this screen, we're going to look at our mini-map. And we're going to be, we're the X. We're going to be heading towards that skull in the top left. So we're just going to slowly bully our way there. As I've said before, our experience will collect behind us, which the game does to prevent lag. And we'll also, if we get a trapdoor, which I showed you guys before, we will be able to use that to basically just bully our way through everything. I'm picking any upgrades I see on the way, just because we are going to have to walk quite a ways to get to this upgrade here. But I want to be able to unlock new stuff, if at all possible. This mini-map that I have is something that you unlock on the newest map. And there's our trapdoor, so that's going to hoover all of the experience we've been leaving behind. And we're almost done with upgrades, which is very nice to see. You can see it's coming in a steady stream from behind us, and there we go. We have one more level left on Spinach, I believe. And we're getting way closer to our goal there. So there's our last level of spinach. We're collecting the new bag. And now that we have all of our upgrades maxed, we're now going to be given the choice of coin bags or floor chicken. Coin bags are what we're going to be going for to get more money to buy more level up and unlock more characters. Floor chicken just gives you a heal. We do not need heals because we do have the whip that heals us instead. But coin bags are very, very nice because 25 coins per upgrade is just phenomenal. So we have about 3 minutes left to get to this skull up here, which is of course our goal. So we just need to not die in that time and keep on picking up the trapdoors wherever we see them to hoover up the experience and buy more coin bags. Because we do like money here. You can see once again we hit minute 27 and we have a new set of enemies. Ghosts are no longer a concern because they just melt against us. We only have to really worry when they push stuff towards us. We got a third jackpot! What the heck? I've never gotten this many jackpots in my life. I love this though. So, third jackpot gives us 5 coin bags plus it gives us a ton of gold just from finding the jackpot. You get gold anytime you open a chest. The more items you get out of the chest, the more money the chest is worth. So, just a nice feature there. And let's check our progress. We're getting pretty close. We need to go a little more up than sideways, so I will slightly adjust my trajectory so that I can get to that skull. And then once we're there, we should be sitting pretty. Before, you weren't able to know exactly where these items were. You would have to like count squares and stuff, and there were tons of tutorials. They added the mini-map though, which is decently hard to get because the newest level is insane. It is so hard. I will make a video on it at some point. I will not do it before I get more upgrades though, because it's just super difficult. So we need to go basically straight up now to reach the skull. So we're just going to slowly push all of these enemies back while working towards where we think the skull should be. There it is. Okay, so this is the Skullomaniac. It increases enemy speed, health, and quantity, and frequency by 10%. So you're just going to get a bunch more enemies, and they're going to be a bunch more dangerous, because they'll have more health and stuff. We have 6 evolved weapons, which is why I wanted to go ahead and go and grab that today. But it is not something for the faint of heart to pick up. Now, if we look at the mini-map, we do have an extra level of Hollow Heart over here. I believe they did fix it to where you can get 6 levels now. On Hollow Heart if you go and pick up one of those. So with our last minute or so, we're going to just sort of push over that way, see if we can get more upgrades, because the more the merrier. We like upgrades in this household here. Also, this game is not in a 1080 by 720 aspect. So I actually have the screen slightly stretched, so if it looks a little weird, that's why. I just think from what recordings I've seen, I watch a lot of this game. For what recordings I've seen, it looks a lot better when you stretch it than when you leave the big black bars on the side. So that is why I have it stretched. If you guys hate it, let me know. And I will make some changes there. But yeah, we're going to keep on farming and just working our way to the Hollow Heart. In the top right, you can see both how many enemies we've killed and how much gold we've made. So we've killed over 20,000 enemies so far this run, and we've gotten over 3,000 gold, which is very good for a run. I'm going to attribute that mainly to us getting 3 jackpots, because that's just an absolutely ludicrous amount of money for a run that is not optimized towards money. And there is another attract orb. That is going to bring in all of our levels. So many chickens. This is going to be great. Also, I really hope that you guys can hear the music, because if not, it's going to be very confusing. So that last bunch of upgrades was from the red gem that had been coalescing all of the experience that we have not been picking up. So that's why we got a ton of upgrades all at once. And we hit 30 minutes, at which point the Reaper came in and killed us in 2 seconds. He is not beatable unless you edit the game files or you follow a hack, but I think that way to kill him has been patched now. So we got a bonus 500 points for surviving to 30 minutes, so we ended up with about 3,500. Plus, we unlocked Llama from surviving 20 minutes with at least the 10% curse, which we did get from picking this guy up at the end of the run. That seems a little wrong, game, but it's okay. It also tells you all of your results. So we survived 30 minutes, 2 seconds, earned 4,100 gold, reached level 78, and defeated 21,500 enemies. Our best DPS was, in fact, the Hellfire, which was the evolved fire one that just sends out stuff. The main reason, though, was because we evolved it super late. You can see Thunderloop actually comes in second here with 5.1k, which is also very powerful. And then our highest damage was the Heavenly Sword, which was one of the first things we upgraded. Not the very first, but it did 4k DPS. So if you're looking for probably the top weapons as far as evolutions, Heavenly Sword, Hellfire, and Thunderloop are really good. Thunderloop is a bit chaotic. Hellfire basically carves a path for you to walk through, and Heavenly Sword just does tons of area damage by both shooting forward and then backing up away from you. I did not have the axe on this run. The axe is debatably one of the best ones as well, but that's something you'll have to experiment with yourself. So, if you guys like it, definitely check it out on Steam. It is super, super fun, and I'll see you the next time we play.